Right, YouTube, it's Shadow King Nazu, and I'm here to do my review of Welcome to Demon School Iruma. Now, I've watched the first 20 episodes of Welcome to Demon School Iruma, and I gotta say, I really do love this show. Let's get started, shall we? Welcome to Demon School is basically about this boy named Iruma who really has a rough life. He's always getting taken advantage of by people, even by his own parents, who are basically a bunch of louse. A bunch of lice. We start off with seeing him cleaning a ship full of fish, and he suddenly gets taken by a demon named Sullivan. And it turns out this demon actually wants to adopt him as his own grandson. And he just wants to spoil him, adore him. To which Irma agrees to do because, well, he's kind of a pushover. He can't refuse a request. And it's probably for the best because had he refused, Sullivan would have been forced to eat him. So he ends up spoiling him like any other grandparent would. And they have a gets really clingy, like how typical parent figures would, and even goes so far as to enroll him into the school of Babylos, which is a school for demons. Now, you might think this premise sounds familiar. Some seemingly ordinary kid who's that's not all too remarkable, has a little bit of bad luck, gets enrolled into a school full of supernatural entities who would more likely eat him if they found that he was human. Yeah, this is basically the same premise as Rosario Vampire, instead of with just yokai in general, which would be monsters and other supernatural beings. It's mostly demons. Uh, so yeah, Welcome to Demon School is very similar to Rosario Vampire, and a lot of people have made that parallel. But the difference is that, from what I can tell, Welcome to Demon School Iruma so far is following the manga, at least I think it is. The plot seems to be going a little bit forward, and it's not focused on filler. And I mean, there is some padding, but that's just mostly like to create the tone and story. Uh, but so far, it seems to be more story focused in the Rosario Vampire anime, which is a totally plus in my book. And the adventures pretty much just focus on Iruma trying to adjust to the life of a demon school while trying to keep his identity hidden away from the other demons so they won't eat him. And they get into all sorts of hijinks, like befriending demons like Asmodeus, who's like this proper proper demon from a high-ranking, esteemed family of Clara, or Clara for short, who's like this hyperactive girl who you feel she swears she has like ADD, and those are like his two main friends. There's also Sabron, I think his name was, who's like this meathead of a demon who wants to become the next Demon King, and he kind of has like this respectful rivalry with Iruma after he saved his life. And you might be wondering, how did Iruma do these things? It's basically dumb luck. Um, like either Sullivan will put some spell that kind of leads to some one situation and makes Irma look like he's doing better than he does, or Irma uses his knowledge of the human world to impress the demons. Because it turns out that demons don't know that humans exist, except for like high-ranking demons. They think that humans are a myth, despite their alma mater saying that they would eat humans and their souls. Yeah, I have no idea how they could convince demons that humans are a myth, but they managed. And some other notable characters are like um, Kulaga, I think his name was. I could be getting that wrong. I'm very terrible with names. Um, who is basically he's kind of has like a similar personality like Professor Snape, very serious. Doesn't like Irma too much because he causes him a lot of trouble, but does have some begrudging respect to him. There was even this one part where Irma was supposed to summon a familiar, and he accidentally summons Kulaga. I'm just gonna call him that for now, and thus turns him into a familiar, which was really embarrassing for him, but really, really funny and impresses him even more. Which Irma doesn't want because Irma is trying to not draw attention to himself, and it just creates all of these hilarious situations. It's really funny. And then there's like Amari, who is basically, if you remember my reviewing Rosario Vampire, she's basically a part of the Demon's Public Safety Committee that keeps the order in things, except unlike Rosario Vampire, where the Public Safety Committee were basically like Nazis. Um, the Public Safety Committee is strict with their order, but they are fair. And Amari is where is really strict and professional, but she also has a softer side and has this obsession with human manga because she's including one that's basically a romantic comedy novel. And since she doesn't can't since humans don't I mean since demons don't know a lot about humans, even thinking that they're a myth, she can't read human language, and thus she just interprets it as the events for the pictures. But Iruma can read it because he's a human, and he's able to read the stories. And the funny thing about this is that if, she thinks that the manga has the power to make uh, anyone that reads them fall in love. So she thinks that Iruma is trying to make Amri fall in love with him. And it's kind of funny because she kind of slowly develops that kind of feelings towards Iruma. But Iruma is kind of oblivious to it. And Clara, who mostly treats Irma like a friend, kind of gets jealous because he's not spending so much time with her, and that she tries to also gain his affection. And there's also some other girls who are attracted to him, but they're not too important. And it's just things like that. Um, it's so interesting, and we should. And while it's mostly focused on comedy, there are some moments where it focuses more on a serious plot. Like, there was just recently, we just got through an arc where one demon who was treated as a low class one wanted to destroy the school because he wanted to get rid of the class system, and also he had some sort of sadistic nature. But he's also part of a larger group that wants to have demons revert back to their violent and sadistic natures. And Irma just had stopped his mentor that was part of that group. And I feel that it's going to lead to something bigger. They might be covering that in the manga, but I haven't read the manga yet. But all in all, I would have to say Welcome to Irma Raccoon is very fun.